Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today. Happy Festivus! December 23rd, 2021. The man they call Meathead and the gentleman Squire, Matthew Thomas. Good morning, Matthew. Happy Festivus. You know, Matthew, I've got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about them.
Well, let me tell you what. Happy Festivus to you, Meathead, and also too happy. We're getting like an extra hour of daylight back in our each of our days now. So I think what we do is, as we get an extra hour of daylight, we make the show 1 minute longer each day until the time changes, and then we start making it a minute shorter.
Yeah, you know, matter of fact, no matter how cold it is here in the Fox Valley in Appleton or in Denver, Colorado, each day is going to have a little bit more sunlight on it. We're on our way to summer.
This is the road to SummerSlam, right?
You sure that's SummerSlam or SummerFest?
SummerSlam and SummerFest, everything that you do in the summer. Is it time for another Olympics? Or that's right, there's a Winter Olympics this year.
There's a Winter Olympics coming up, yeah.
Because we've gotten off.
Here's a Winter Olympics.
Yeah, we've gotten off cadence with our Olympics.
Wait, you got off? What?
Watching the Olympics. I always get off on the cadence of watching the Olympics. It confuses me. But if you need to take care of that, by take care of that, I mean if you need to wear something when you go to spectate the Olympics, you can go to collarandelbowbrand.com for all of your wonderful apparel that you would want to wear, not do anything else with. collarandelbowbrand.com, enter promo code LindaK, LINDAKAY. Save yourself 10% so you can get into more Olympic games.
All right. Before we get off on a tangent and just blow all our time here, favorite winter sport not on the radar? Go.
It's such a cop-out if I say curling, isn't it?
It's not because, dude, curling's awesome.
Curling's one of those things that I forget the rules for every 4 years, and I have to remind myself how it works every 4 years.
So curling is the one sport that I feel like I could still be an Olympic athlete at.
Yeah.
Because it's a sport, but really it's a game.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you play pool, man. I think there's some carryover there.
And once I get a shoulder that actually, can bend a little bit and I can stick my hiney out, I might be able to curl.
Well, hey, the place we were at when I was in Milwaukee, man, they had plenty of room. Maybe they could put like an enclosed area and some ice, and you can have yourself a little curling area at Roman's.
Yeah, get rid of the volleyball court and put out a couple curling lanes. That might be something. I might be the one that brings curling to Milwaukee.
I mean, I don't see why not.
I know there's curling clubs here, in the farther north up in Wisconsin, but I don't know if they're curling down in Milwaukee. But like I said, it's the one sport I feel that no matter my age or my athletic prowess, that I could still make it to the Olympics.
Well, when you do grow that mustache every November, those sides tend to curl up. So I think you'd be a natural.
Fair enough. What's natural is you guys calling us and listening to us for a little wrestling news in action. Well, let's start off with SmackDown this coming Friday, the December 24th SmackDown tomorrow night. Excuse me. The Christmas Eve SmackDown has already been pre-taped. And again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday with Linda, but we are going to be we're in some dangerous waters here. I know they had planned on traveling through Canada, and some of the dates had been cut down to 50% capacity. Well, the good news is that, again, the COVID-19 has not stopped that Christmas Eve show from airing on Fox. Matthew, your thoughts on ticket sales, which I'm going to get to in a second, of the events, plus what's going on in Canada?
Yeah, I don't think it's any mystery when they're doing buy one, get one free tickets for the Rumble, and we're seeing tarped off buildings and whatnot. The ticket sales are in a little bit of questionable waters.
And the reason I bring this up is Boxing Day, December 26th, at Madison Square Garden is usually one of the biggest ones for the company. They are doing absolutely abysmal. This year, the world's most famous arena will be largely empty following dismal ticket sales, unless there's a huge surge in the final few days, especially walk-ins or walk-ups on the day of the show. The upper 200 section remains mostly unsold, with thousands of tickets remaining, while the lower 100 section, although faring better than the 200, still suffering big time. There's also a good number of floor seats, which are still available for purchase. The addition of 2 cage matches to try and spice it up didn't do much, if nothing at all, to move sales. Now, tickets are starting at $31 each, but again, this is MSG. This is their home arena, and they are struggling to put butts in seats.
The only thing I really see changing that is maybe something starts moving on the aftermarket. If there were a lot of aftermarket tickets bought up, maybe they get desperate and you have people watching the aftermarkets to see if it goes below face, which is something that does happen. If the bots get a certain amount of the tickets when they go on sale, I know in the past for concerts and whatnot, I've waited till day of show to see how low I can ride something down below face. So I don't know that you're going to have a ton of walk-up business or a ton of tickets directly from the box office, but you could potentially see some of that stuff that's on the aftermarket go low, 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 and those potentially
like a
get
limbo.
zapped up.
How low can you
Yeah,
go?
exactly.
How low can you go?
I say if it goes under $10 a ticket, man, we jump on it.
Wow. I mean, folks, they're in trouble. They are in absolute trouble. And I don't need to keep pounding this table on it or, pushing this narrative, but we need them to get better. We need them to get better.
Yeah. And I know you and Linda talked about it yesterday, but I did think that NXT 2.0 went in the right direction Tuesday night. And something that I meant to send to you guys.
Was it Linda or did the show just randomly get kind of awesome?
I think it got better. And I don't know if you caught this or not, Meathead, but 3-4 hours prior, they had that entire card laid out. You could see every match and the highlight of the segments that took place.
And Raw that's coming Mondays laid out as well.
Yeah. And what that does, it makes, especially the matches on the middle part of the card, the matches that don't open or close the show, it makes it seem like they were playing and just not by happenstance to fill time.
Yep. All right, let's talk about a show that sometimes has matches by happenstance, but mostly has them laid out. It's AEW Dynamite from last night. Matthew, it opened up, and you know what I listened for? I listened for that initial crowd pop.
Yeah.
Adam Cole was announced first. Did you hear? That was an organic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's such a good guy with the theme song to open up a show. He's he's really solid to open, a Dynamite, or when you're trying to get the crowd back into it after Dynamite and you're taping Rampage to go the Cole route.
Adam Cole taking on Orange Cassidy. We've been asking this for a couple of years now. How is Orange Cassidy going to up his game a little bit?
Yeah.
He's still doing new stuff. Like he kissed Adam Cole on the cheek while they were in a rest hold. He did the Adam Cole baby and took his hands and put them into Adam Cole or in Orange Cassidy's pockets, and it's still not main event stuff, but he's still doing new stuff.
Yeah, you have to further suspend disbelief a little bit more than you do in a traditional match. But I think last night the announcers did a good job. How you really helped to make Orange Cassidy.
They're like, hey Tony, you get what that's like, right? Everybody with their hands in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, is to have that announce team say, okay, this is a psychological trick. He can turn it on when he wants to. Kind of going back to early Undertaker, where the announcers are saying, okay, he's not really dead. It's a psychological trick. He terrifies his opponents. Just that little small nuance, I think, really helps kind of the longevity of his style.
It's helping him. You know what else helps Adam Cole in these matches? When more of his friends from the Undisputed Era show up. And they are all elites. Matthew Thomas, Kyle O'Reilly is now all elite.
I love this. I love the surprise happening in the opening match, which is typically not your surprise spot in the show. And as this match had started, I was getting a little concerned about Adam Cole potentially kind of drifting to the mid card a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of this type of Bucks that we're seeing, the Bucks with Cutler and Cole. I feel like Cole is a main event guy, and I think the Bucks and Cutler are kind of taking him down a little bit. And my goodness, they course corrected that last night.
So let's talk about that. There was a little confusion. The Bucks want to know what's up with your two boys. I thought you were with us. Is Adam Cole with his Undisputed Brothers, or is he with the Young Bucks and the Super Clique?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's the stable of those three, because seeing those three in the ring with Cole as a leader, Cole looks like a natural leader. Cole this whole deal with him being one of the flackies with the Bucks and Cutler, like Cole
is kind of dragging him down.
Yeah, Cole looks serious. The Bucks coming out in their quasi pajamas and Cutlers. It does not, to me, it takes away some of the star power from Cole. So you've got a much more interesting story.
One more question with this, though. This is the third company they're doing this.
Yeah.
Is it stale, or is it something new, and can it be even better in AEW?
I don't think it's stale, because largely what I kind of mentioned there, like I think a lot of people have had that desire to see him with his Undisputed Era guys potentially go up against the Super Clique, and you get Omega back healthy. Maybe you can kind of keep this thing on ice for a little while, but you get Omega back healthy and have those three guys run up against each other.
Okay, all right. Because like I said, I mean, they ran through Ring of Honor, and then they all showed up in NXT, and now they're all showing up again in AEW. Do we wait for Roderick Strong to lose his belt to, Carmelo Hayes and then show up in AEW? Would you be against it or for it?
The only thing I'd be for it, but the only thing with that, I have heard reports that Strong has signed his contract not too long ago. So I don't know where his contract status is, and I don't know exactly how far away we are from that actually happening.
Okay, well, there's that. All right, so Wardlow taking on the captain, Shawn Dean. I feel like I've seen Shawn Dean. I feel like Shawn Dean, the captain, is a Great Lakes Championship Wrestling type of guy, and I just can't place my finger on it. But unfortunately, he ran into the wall, otherwise known as Wardlow.
Yeah, and I think they've done a good job as far as building up Wardlow, building up these squash matches, because each week you kind of have the story of Spears kind of, stepping in, trying to stop him, and that dissension growing a little bit more between him and the rest of the Pinnacle. So they've done a good job here as far as, building up, making you look forward to a quick squash match.
A promo for TNT Championship match on Rampage on Saturday night between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. News came out that Sammy and his fiance, who he proposed to on television, are no longer an item together. So different things going on with Sammy off to the side, but let's focus in on the wrestling. And that's going to be happening on Rampage Saturday night on Christmas Day.
Yeah, no, and I mean, again, you get further evolution of the Cody storyline, which me personally, I think is one of the most organic, interesting things happening in wrestling, as this guy who's booked as a babyface, the fans are turning him heel, and they seem to be uniformly, turning him heel. So I really like watching the Cody reaction and the little small nuances from week to week.
Dan Lambert cut out a promo right after it and said that he was given an impossible task by Tony Khan to try to get the crowd to cheer for Cody Rhodes, because Cody is even a bigger dick than he is. That's the words of Dan Lambert.
You know what? I don't know if he can make the crowd cheer for Cody Rhodes, but I will always cheer for a Dan Lambert segment, and this was no exception. That's just the simple fact. Maybe one day when I go to a Dynamite, I'll be fortunate to be right there in that section where Dan Lambert cuts his promo, like eating a hot dog or something. I can offer Dan Lambert a bite of my hot dog, or a taste of my nachos or something. You
want Dan Lambert to taste the cheese of your nacho?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on to the Owen Hart tournament promo, and then really, I found it just a little funny. Again, I'm poking holes, right? And folks, don't think that I'm really having a problem. I'm just nitpicking. Poking holes, but all these younger talents talk as if they worked with Owen and they shared a locker room with Owen, and Owen Hart died in 1999.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's they definitely went with more of what has the Owen Hart stuff done to your appreciation of the business. So you had him come in at much more of an angle of, more or less the matches I've watched, as opposed to people who can speak directly on Owen.
Right. So, like I said, it rubbed me a little the wrong way, but you know what? I'm glad they're still honoring the legacy of Owen Hart. Nyla Rose and Ruby Soho, this is the semifinals, and as I look at this and think of the other side, and we've used a phrase here on PWR today for many years. Who is it built for, right? Who's the feature talent that this tournament is built for? We both agree that this tournament is built for, oh my God, and then I space on her name. I cannot believe it. I almost said Red Velvet.
Jade Cargill.
Yeah, Jade Cargill. I almost said Red Velvet, and that would have been even more insulting. No, this tournament's built for Jade Cargill, right? So if Jade Cargill's a heel, you look at Nyla Rose and Ruby Soho, so it's going to be Ruby Soho. If I'm Ruby Soho in this match, botchamania is such a terrible word, and it's got an awful connotation to it, but Nyla Rose botched getting her jacket off of it. There's chunks of her jacket laying in the ring. I'm pissed off that you ruined my ring jacket.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Now you got to get some more work done on the apparel. And, it looks like she delivers it fine, but my goodness, man, that knee off the turnbuckle always concerns me when it happens.
Yeah. So, but you look at the match, Nyla Rose and Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho with the win. She will go to the finals, and we believe, even though I want Thunder Rosa, we believe it's going to be Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I'm not as sold as I was at the beginning of this tournament, just because my concern is that there's going to be some greenness that gets exposed if you put the title on her. And, you look at Jade Cargill's matches so far, I don't think you've got many that go over 5 minutes. and you're going to be going into some deep waters if you're holding that title. You're not going to be able to run these quick, 1 to 2 minute squashes. So I don't know. I still think
I think they can.
The
I
way
think they can go with it for a while.
It most likely goes, but I think it's a gamble.
Okay. We've got Malachi Black and Griff Garrison, and Malachi Black, the spray spot from 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And where the mist missed her, and it got the guys instead. And now Griff Garrison is standing up for him, but Garrison tapped out. Brian Pillman Jr. ran to the ring, but he ends up getting taken out for his efforts by Malachi Black as well. I don't think this did anything for anybody.
No, and honestly, did Garrison get too much offense for you? I'm surprised to see the match go as long as it did. And I get it. You did have a little bit of that element of Black kind of playing with his food, but I think he should have looked a lot more dominant here.
Yeah, and you make a good phrase there, playing with his food, because he was just toying with him.
Yeah.
Isaiah Cassidy had his promo with Jungle Boy for their match on Rampage this Saturday night, but we didn't talk about the promo between Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, and Luchasaurus. They're there to pimp the new T-shirt, right? How many times did they say pounding ass?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. So if you want to see more of that, make sure you tune in for that match.
You might want to go to the dark web and go look for pounding ass, because that'll be next. But anyways, the main event, MJF and FTR taking on CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting. Absolutely love Darby Allin coming out in different colors, Sting coming out in CM Punk colors, and then he had CM Punk's literal wrists taped on his forehead, and CM Punk coming out dressed as Sting. What did you think?
And FTR would end the match black and blue too. Was it Dax that you saw all the bruising on?
Yep.
And maybe that was some paint coming off. It looked kind of like
it was possibly paint.
Yeah. But after Cody's peeling back from a few weeks ago, I don't know what's what, but a very, very physical match.
The floating skin all throughout the arena.
Yeah, glad to see MJF okay after that bump he took. That was a nasty looking kind of head first. Yeah. Splash to the outside. But
I'm telling you, Darby Allin, when he flies through those ropes, that dude is a missile.
Have you ever seen anybody else project themselves like that? I mean,
no.
It's not. It's like he's
not
still
physically. I'm projecting myself mentally into the women that I can.
He's still getting he's still building velocity basically when he hits his opponent. He's not taking him on the way down. I've never seen anything like it.
He's a crash and burn type of guy. I mean, we love him for it, but boy, oh boy, kid, you got to learn to slow down a little bit. Big time match, a couple of commercial breaks, and again, it's a 6-man tag. Really, the story of this is every time that Darby Allin or Sting set up Punk to go after MJF runs away. At the end of the match, all three hit their moves. Here's what threw me off, though. They had this timed out perfectly. Like, okay, it's probably going to be hockey at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. All right, looks like we got 2 minutes. Here's a finisher. Here's the finisher. Here's the finisher, and then we got Batman, Superman. You didn't need to rush that.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you wanted to start Batman, Superman on time. Maybe somebody's trying to dip their toes into the DC universe, and you can't mess up their night. So, I get that.
Spoilers, but Superman dies.
You need to attach a spoiler alert to this.
It is what it is. I did see Spider-Man, by the way, Matthew. Have you seen Spider-Man?
No, but it's on my list of things to do.
I got to tell you, Matthew, we talked about this off air, but I want to bring it up on air. I've never gone to a later movie than, say, like early dinner time.
Yeah.
And I've never gone to a late movie. I went to a 10:20 showing. And I swear to God, am I either old or is this what's been going on the whole time? But everybody seemed like they were in their Snuggies and they brought their down comforters.
It reminds me a lot of, when John and Oko did their sleep in or whatever they did. That's what going to
all the people.
That's what going to a late movie like is now. I mean, the first time I'd ever dawned on it was when I got to one of those late and you're walking down, going up, and you've got that visual. And it's like, no, it's not a theater full of people sitting in their chairs. It's a theater full of people laying down.
In their sleeping bags.
Yeah. So next time, Meathead, you need to make sure you bring your Snuggie and your Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh my God. I mean, like I said, to you off air, I felt like it was a Netflix and chiller. Everybody's getting hand jobs during the movie watching Spider-Man because they love the Spider-Man.
So, you know what? I think that's actually what you need to do next time. Not specifically what you just mentioned, but actually buy 2 tickets, one for your stuffed animal, and just have a seat just for your little stuffed animal there.
Oh boy! Well, it was
And
the cheap day at the theater. You know, it was the $5 movie day and the free bag of popcorn too.
And pretend to like feed your stuffed animal popcorn and just have all of the popcorn you feed stuffed animal just pile up in the seat.
Fair enough. All right, Matthew, we will talk tomorrow morning. We're going to talk getting ready for Farmer Brock. You know, we always joke about his appearances, you know, contract, but this dude's been on TV damn near 3-4 weeks in a row now. So I'm hoping we get more Farmer Brock.
Here's what I'm hoping. I enjoy Farmer Brock, but you've got the levity in character right now. If there's any time to ever do it, you can take it up a notch, not just have Farmer Brock, but have Santa Brock.
Oh,
yeah, it's a Christmas Eve show.
Can you imagine him coming out, doom, coming out?
Oh, I love it. Handing out gifts to the audience, man, it'd be great.
That would be fantastic. All right, for Matthew Thomas, the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.